Okay, good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order the Whittingham Homeowners Association meeting for November 18th, 2024. Would everyone please rise for a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Matt, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, Tom Clark,
Here?
Jay Ressler,
Yeah.
Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Joe Atanasio,
Here.
Kathy Clark and Gleason,
Here.
and Jeff Simonson.
Here.
Thank you.
Ready? Everyone here from management?
We are all here.
Okay. Do you have a management report for us, Matt?
Yeah, sure do. As you'll see from the agenda, I don't want to spoil anything, but we've been busy getting some bids on different services and contracts for the association, which we'll talk about under new business. Our roof project over in Whittingham keeps rolling. We got about 7 buildings done, almost 8, 15 total we're doing. The weather's been cooperating, although we need the rain. It's good for putting roofs on. So, amen to that. Um, we've been working a lot with Matt Federici with the restaurant. There's some things he's needed from us that we're helping him with. So hopefully he'll be opening sometime in the very near future. So I have somewhere to go to lunch every day, and so do the ladies. As you know, we winterized the irrigation system. We're done. I think we did that, November 1st. So that's all shut down for the season. We're actually working on bids and stuff for next year to try and get some projects lined up. We know Whittingham hasn't been power washed in a while, so we got 2 out of 3 bids in for that already, and we're looking at the pickleball tennis courts. That's another hot topic because we have some repairs and we're just replacement that we need to do. So we want to try and get that lined up for next year, if possible. I hate to bring up the word snow because I don't think we're going to get any, but we're already having conversations and meetings with LMS this week about snow and everything. But I don't think we're going to get any, right? And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kristen because she always has an awesome report.
Okay, so this Sunday we have a show, November 24th, the One Hit Wanderers, who actually sold out in one of our neighboring communities a couple of times. The show is at 3 p.m. here in the ballroom. Tickets are $25 each, and they are available with the concierge. December 4th and 25th bus trips to Atlantic City resorts are on sale now. On Wednesday, December 18th at 1 p.m. in the ballroom, St. Peter's University Hospital will have a lecture on a guide to financial wellness and safety during the holiday season. There's no cost for this, but we do ask that you sign up with the concierge. Our New Year's Eve party, December 31st, starts at 8 p.m. Entertainment will be provided by a Touch of Class DJ, and food will be catered by our new on-site restaurant, The Greenery. You can reserve your table today. Wednesday, January 8th, we are going to Parks Casino. This trip goes on sale Tuesday, November 26th. And our January 26th show is at 3 p.m. in the ballroom. We will be having a James Taylor era tribute show. Tickets go on sale beginning Thursday, December 5th. That's it.
Hey, Kristen, thank you for the report. Move on to item number 6. It's the review of the October 21st, 2024 open workshop meeting minutes. So all the board members have them in their packet. Please have them reviewed for our action meeting next week. Item 7 under new business. 2025 clubhouse janitorial contract with Planned Building Services for $237,570.78. Matt, do you have some information you'd like to share on this contract?
Yeah, Planned has been here for quite a while. We've been actually very happy with their services. They came in and met with us and the board just recently and went over a bunch of things. And I think we all feel very comfortable keeping them here. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they've been doing a good job. They fill in whenever they have to if someone's absent. And we're working on fine tuning a few things with the weekend shift, but that's already in the works. And they've been a good partner with us since we've been here.
Okay, so we'll put that on for our action meeting next week. Next item, 2025 indoor and outdoor pool contract with American Pool for $211,463.76. Matt, can you share some information on that?
Yeah, we've had a few issues with Candlewood since we've been here. So we actually went out to bid. We got prices from a couple different vendors locally. American Pool is a big company. They are a partner and sister company of First Service. I will just honestly and openly tell you that. But I've worked with them in years past. They came in, they surveyed all the equipment, and they really think we need to do things a little bit differently. So very comfortable with them coming on in January if the board goes for their contract. Very responsive, a lot of supervision, stop in several times a week, which we really haven't had right now. So it may be time to make a change.
Thank you. Any comment from the board? Okay, we'll put it on for next week as well. 2025. One, two. Oh, there it goes, back. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay. All right. We have the 2025 alarm monitoring contract condos with Dynamark Monitoring for $87,402.60. Matt, can you share some information on that?
Yeah, we've been using Dynamark for quite a while. It comes out to roughly $16.50 per home per month. Dynamark has agreed to hold their price steady at that for 2025. We've had no issues with them. It's actually been a pretty good service, so we kind of recommend keeping in line and keeping them here. And the price is right, not going up for once.
Always a good thing. Any comment from the board? Okay, Matt,
Yes.
please put that on for next week as well.
Tom,
Yeah, go
let
ahead.
me just, Dynamark is the company that takes care of the condo alarm system. So the little panel that you have at home, they're the ones that we contract with to make sure that you are protected. God forbid there is a fire or any instance, they would be the ones monitoring the system, calling the police, calling you to make sure if the alarm goes off and so on. Just wanted
Okay. No, no, at the end. We're just going through the agenda today. All right, the next item is the landscape maintenance, drainage, and landscaping proposal for 31 Rutland Lane Courtyard for $8,993.82. If some of you may remember, there was one of our residents here a number of meetings ago that raised the issue about the flooding in that area. We went out and looked at it, and we hired a contractor to take care of that problem. Any comment from the board? Okay, Matt, put it on for next week. Next item is a paving contract with Johnson Barron for Whittingham Drive walking lane repairs for $7,000. Matt, I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, when Johnson Barron was out here doing some other road work for Greenbriar and the Newcastle Gate, we had him look at the walking walking lane on Whittingham Drive, mostly right in front of the clubhouse. It was just completely deteriorated and actually a safety hazard. So while they were here, we had them price it out, and they actually left some equipment here pending board approval to get that done. Desperately needed to get done because somebody would probably have an accident there. So glad we all caught it in time.
Okay, thank you. Um, So we'll have that on for next week's meeting. Next item is 11, the Rutland Roof Replacement Contract with Biondo Roofing for $60,110,000. This is a add-on to the current contract. It came to the board's attention that this particular unit of homes, which I think is a cluster of 4 on this one, that there was an excessive amount of leaks in that building, not recently, but that has been historical. So with the Mr. Biondo on the property, and giving us very favorable rates, we decided to put this one on for work as well. Hopefully, the weather will still cooperate, and he'll be able to get it done this season. So, any questions from the board on this? Okay, we'll put that on for next week. Okay, the next item is the St. Peter's nursing contract. As you all may know, we have a nursing station here. Currently, we have 3 shifts on that station. And the board has been looking into this item for, I would have to say, at least the last 6 months. And it did come to our attention that the current way we operate the nurses station is not required by the town's zoning ordinances. We are actually exempt. And a number of other communities in Monroe have discovered this as well. Some are required, some are not. So the ones that are not have been making changes. So we're looking at reducing the last shift, which would be 11 at night to 7 in the morning. We did a little homework and a little research, and we were supplied with the numbers for all 3 shifts. And I can give you some little indication, but I'm going to let Kathy do that because she'll speak better to the numbers on this. But it really costing us, that one shift is costing us about $117,000. And for the amount of people that are utilizing the service, it doesn't really make much sense to continue it. Actually, and all the calls that were considered emergency calls, the township's ambulance service was there before the nurse was there. So the board is interested in reducing that to 2 shifts and leaving the late night shift 11 to 7 closed. So we will be able to take the $117,000 from that and put it into the budget to help replenish the capital reserves, which is underfunded, and thus saving all the homeowners quite a bit of money. So Kathy, could you speak to these numbers on the report?
Okay. So we actually got the information directly from St. Peter's, who tracks each and every call, every office visit, whether the call resulted in any serious emergency, whether or not the police responded first or ambulance responded first. What the statistics that we received indicated that during the hours of 11 p.m. to 7 in the morning, there were actually 60 office visits. That's it for the entire year. 365 days, there were only 60 office visits. Of those, during the night, there was an ambulance called for each of those. So I think practice from the nurse's office is they get an emergency call. They're considered an office visit. It's an emergency call, and they immediately call. Now, whether the resident calls the ambulance or the nurse calls the ambulance, immediately, according to the statistics we received, an ambulance is called during the night. At this point, it was determined that if that is the case, then really that shift, we're paying all that kind of money and it really isn't fully necessary. We hope no one ever has an emergency, but generally speaking, an emergency will result in a 911 call. I don't think the nurse would wait. I don't think the individual at home would rather call the nurse than call 911 for an emergency visit. The other calls were very, very minor. There were blood pressure, taking blood pressure in the middle of the night. They were very minor items, but they were insignificant in number. There were phone calls, roughly about 200 phone calls made during that time period. Just calls, questions for the nurse. What do I do if the nurse, if there was an emergency, would immediately call, as I indicated, would immediately call an ambulance. So we are, because we are not obligated according to the township, we don't have to have that shift. We are thinking as a board that we could save quite a bit of money and that it would not hurt us. And so we're going to proceed with this and see what
Okay.
kind of a response
Kathy,
we
if,
receive.
if I could,
Sure.
just to give you an idea of the difference in the visits. If you were to look at the 3 to 11 shift, we had 1,856 visits for the year. If you look at the 7 to 3 shift, 1,478. If you look at the set 11 to 7, 83. So you can see there's a large disparity between all these numbers. And the reason why the board is looking seriously at this and why we're going to recommend that we make a change. And also next week, we have scheduled our attorney to be here to speak to the legality of it, to the ordinances that allows us to do this. So David Byrne, who is the board's attorney, will be here next week as well. Yeah, we mentioned that. We mentioned. Okay, so next week we'll put this on and we'll take a vote on this. We just wanted everyone to be fully informed so that if you have any questions on it, you could come at next week's meeting with the attorney here, and we certainly have that discussion. Okay, let's move on to the next item. This is going into item number 8, the financial report. Kathy, can you give us some information?
I can. We have received September financials. We have met with our Budget and Finance Committee, and we have informed them. We have given them all the information necessary, and we are now collectively making decisions on how we will proceed going forward. We do not have any final information as yet. By the end of November, we should have more information for the community as to how we will proceed for 2025. The financial information and reports are available on the portal. You can see September. They have prior months also. There's August and July and so on. And if anyone has any questions, please bring them to the meetings and I'd be happy to assist. So that takes care of both budget.
Righty, thank you, Kathy. All right, let's move on to item number 9. That's old business, the Comcast proposal. We're still having discussions with a firm that's trying to get us a new arrangement for marketing. Currently, we have marketing, which means everyone has an option and they can decide what they want to do. And you can tailor your package to your needs. Unfortunately, the current contract locks us into higher prices. So we're trying to um, abolish that contract and enter into a new contract on the marketing side that allows anyone who's coming in to get the favorable rates. Now, you all watch TV, you can see some of these rates that are being advertised, $30 for internet, 1 gig, and, wonderful packages. It's what we're trying to get. Now, we were looking at the bulk proposal, and it works for, I would have to say maybe half of the population that has Comcast service, but it doesn't work for everyone. And some people's bills were actually going to go up, maybe even doubled, because some people have bills as low as $60 and $70, believe it or not, because they use hardly nothing from Comcast. But that's what they chose. That's what they want. So we don't want to get people angry, upset, have to spend more money. The idea was to try to save money on this. So I think we're going to forego the bulk service conversation and just look at trying to get a new marketing contract where everyone can enter in for whatever they want at a much more favorable rate. So we're hoping to have some more information by tomorrow, and we'll make a decision what we're going to do. And once we do, we'll send it to you and we'll let you know what's going on. But until that time, the matter's ongoing. All right, let's go over to number 10, which is the open forum. We got there quickly tonight. Anyone who would like to come up to the microphone and speak, please do. Name and address for the record. Carmine, is the microphone turned on?
Carmine Campanella, 80 Leeds Lane. The question I have is on item under new business, item number 2, the pool. Maybe a couple of years back, the word was out after they finished the indoor pool that they were going to redo the outdoor pool. Is this $200,000 including redoing the outdoor pool, or what is that going to
No,
entail?
there's currently nothing being proposed for any work on the outdoor pool at all. It's still fine. It's going to still operate the way it is for now. We will be looking at somewhere down the years, hopefully 3 to 5 years, that when it really comes time to do that, we're going to then get proposals and look at how that pool could be upgraded and improved. But until then, there's nothing on, no discussion.
Okay, because in the past, the word was that Hobart was going to, had a contract to do in 2024, which was then pushed back to 2025, or 23 to 24, then 24 to 20,
No,
to redo the whole outdoor pool.
no, there's nothing like that in the works.
Okay, so the outdoor pool, there is nothing planned for the next couple of years, so we're going to
Correct.
stay status quo pretty much.
Yes.
Okay,
Let me just mention, in our capital reserve study, which we are still reviewing, there's a lot of information there. But in the capital reserve study, our engineer who performed the capital reserve study did indicate that there was no immediate concern
okay.
for the pool.
That's contrary to what we were told.
You are correct, and we were just as surprised. And as a matter of fact, this morning, we did question it. And we were told, we questioned the fact that they held it off for a couple of years. And they did tell us that based on what they had seen and determined, that they do feel very comfortable that we can hold off just a little while. We're not talking many years. We're talking a couple, perhaps, years. They're going to do a little more investigation, and then they will confirm to us that we can hold off those 2 years.
Okay, will the lifeguard's contract be included in this?
This is the lifeguard
Oh, this is the
contract.
Yeah, this is-
Yes.
This is
for
for
both-
this is for the lifeguards and for the maintenance of the pool.
Of the pool, right,
Yes.
okay. Okay,
Yes, and it includes, right,
Okay,
it's
thank you.
everything.
Hi, Sandra Cohen, 9 Winthrop Road. I have a few questions about this same thing. So this American Pool is not the company that we have now. Is our rate being raised? The contracted, the fee being raised? Matt,
Sorry about that. No, the price is relatively right around the same as we were paying. What we had with our current vendor is not only the lifeguards attesting the maintenance, they were not including the startup in the springtime and the shutdown in the fall. That was actually being done by a separate company called Aquatics. So when you actually
Right.
combine those two together, it's pretty much right around the same price as American Pool is charging us because they include all the startup and the winterization as well.
all right, so when you say it's around the same for more, is that what you're saying?
I don't have the numbers right on me, but I think it's like $1,000 difference or
Okay.
something like that, Kathy.
Okay, the janitorial, has that rate been raised? You were very happy with the janitor, all of us, I think. Has that been raised? Are you not thinking about
Yeah,
changing that?
Yeah, that went up. Kathy's got it.
Contract, and this is a contract that we had entered into with the janitorial, with Planned, who did our janitorial services. We do have two, I won't call them janitors, two custodians on our, we pay two custodians through First Service, but all the other type of work is done through Planned. So anything over and above what our two custodians do is contracted through Planned.
All right,
We've,
I'm
this
not clear.
contract is 3%. It's just their normal annual increase, 3%
All right, I'm not
higher.
clear. You have two janitorial people here during the day
Yes.
and how many at night?
Well, we
So
have,
it's two separate, it's two separate companies.
that's correct. We have, wait, I think what she's saying is we have two employees that do daily service for us. In the custodial service.
They work for WOA. They don't work for a company. Or they
That's
work for a
correct.
company.
That's correct,
They work for WOA.
correct.
Okay.
And
So the other, so they're paid a salary. So it's not included in the 237,000.
that's correct.
All right.
So we have,
So
right.
for the other two people at night and the weekends, that's $237,000.
it's another several people. It's also holiday pay for those people. It's, how many people do we have? Is it
You
three?
said three, how many people do you have at night?
So let's just clarify the two custodians that we have during the day. We actually have four here during the day. Two of them actually First Service employees. And the other two during the day are with Planned Building Services until 3 o'clock. And then we have two more that come in that do the 3 to 11 shift. And we also have people here on weekends as well.
So the people here on the weekend do not work for WOA. They're not employed by WOA. They're employed by a company. Do any of the people are employed by WOA?
No,
No. So this is, really? The two people who work here during the day are not employed by WOA?
they're employed first.
They're First Service employees now.
So all of them are 237,000. Is that more than we're paying now?
Yeah, Kathy just answered that. The Planned Building Services contract is going up 3% for
3%, okay.
2025.
Okay. Okay. As far as the nursing contract is concerned, I know you gave them $117,000. That's $73 a house. Now, I don't know if anyone, I hope you have not ever called the nurse at night or gone to the nurse at night, but many, you took it for a month or whatever it was. Many people here, it's like we pay for insurance all the time. We don't use it, but it's just a comforting thing to have. I'm here 22 years. I came here as a young whippersnapper. And over the years, I've had to have the nurse come, or I've had to go to the nurse. And I have to tell you, it's very comforting for a lot of us who are by ourselves to have that nurse there. You're only saving $73 per household. So take that into consideration when you do that. That's an extra bit of comfort. You're getting new mats. We did a $16,000 curtain. Take that into consideration. Oh, thank you. What was the other thing? That's an important thing. Okay.
When you went to the nurse, what time did you go?
In the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, Jay. Correct. And I can give you the name of 35 people who have gone there during the night or have had the nurse come during the night for many things that you might feel are just, not important.
Sandra, we agree that there are people who use the service, all 83 of them,
Well, that
but-
83 for this month.
but no, that's for the year,
Yes, yes. but
That's
you
for the
didn't do it
entire
for
year.
Years ago.
okay? And as I stated before, the 9/11 emergency service was there before the nurse.
Yeah, but you don't understand.
So
When
they
the-
were
when
they were
9 when
being
the em-
addressed.
No, you don't understand because you've never had, I'm hoping you've never had anyone come. When the ambulance comes, the nurse comes 2 seconds later with your file, with all the information about you, with the numbers of your family, with the people they have to contact. I don't think you know that, or maybe you do.
Well,
I'm just bringing,
it-
Tom, can
we
I
understand. We
can I
understand what your
please-
point is.
let me finish. Let me
Go
just
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
I'm bringing that up to the community. Many of us care. Many of us don't care. I'm bringing that up to the community. Thank you. Now, I just want to know about the Comcast. Why didn't the board, how much did the other company, I don't know if it's First Service, were making some kind of inroads, are being paid to talk to Comcast?
We're talking to Comcast.
No. How much are we paying the company to do it? Because
We're not paying anything.
you're not paying the company to talk to Comcast?
No, we're
or
not.
doing it free?
We are not.
Because for all the years that I'm living here, all the boards did their deal with Comcast, and we always got money.
Sandra, listen,
I'm asking.
we're having these conversations because the prior board locked us into a high rate contract.
But we got a lot of money back from that, all right.
I mean,
You're taking out one thing, and it wasn't only
what
the
did it come
previous
to,
board.
11 cents a day?
The other boards always
No,
dealt with
Sandra,
Comcast themselves.
Okay, I hear you.
Let me ask you this. When does the restaurant opening? Do you have any?
I
idea?
don't have a firm date from the owner. I do not.
There were paintings in the
All
restaurant.
right, so they're working.
3
on
minutes,
that.
please.
No, there were.
Please let her finish.
You are the rudest people. The paintings that were in the restaurant that the interior decorator bought for us when all the restaurants came here, where are they? Are they being rehung or?
I have no idea where they are.
Any,
quite honestly.
any equipment or any furniture or any material that the restaurateur did not want to use or does not want to use, tables, chairs, anything that
Okay.
he will replace, is going to go into a storage area. Nothing is being thrown away or anything because sold or whatever. We are holding on to it because in the event that he no longer is here, we will need that equipment,
Okay.
furniture.
Yeah, all of that
Artwork,
is,
whatever it
that is
might
very
be,
old. The
it will go
paintings
back
are
in
not
there.
old, and the paintings, I wouldn't say were a fortune, but the paintings can they be utilized someplace else in the building?
We certainly can entertain that. If you tell us which paintings, we'd gladly ask him to make sure
Which
he
ones
puts
he
them
would like.
somewhere where we can
Well, he
access
has,
them.
listen, I don't want to step into what he has planned for his restaurant. I mean, he has his own plan. He's decorating. He's got a substantial investment going on in there, and I'm not going to insert myself into that. He's doing a
But
great job.
people- But yes, he
And the
is. But
paintings that are there, or that were there, I don't know if we owned them or not, because
yes,
I don't remember the things being there, because, I don't know where they are. If they were there and they were ours, they're probably in storage somewhere in the building.
they probably are because those were expensive
Okay, so
paintings.
there's your answer.
Okay. So can you let me know if they're here?
Yeah,
Okay.
they
thank
got to
you.
be here. Where else would they be?
And, and folks, on another note, going forward, I'm going to make a proposal to the board that when we have these open forums, if you have more than one question, you ask your first question, you get an answer, you go to the back of the line. And then you ask your next question and you go to the back of the line. That's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way it works at council. That's the way it always works. We can't have someone, I'm sorry, Sandra, I don't mean to disparage you in any way, but to stand up there and ask this questions is just not fair. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is George Roos, 41A Winthrop Road. Oh,
Did the mic turn off? There's
I
a
think it did.
switch on the side. Sometimes the mic turns off.
Oh, it's on? Okay,
Just be close to the microphone, that's
Okay.
all.
my name is George Roos, 41A Winthrop Road. Reason I'm here is I'm just moved into the community, actually. And I noticed on the agenda for this evening was the roof contract for Rutland.
Mhm.
And when I saw the price on it, I was curious. My line of work, I work for a company, we deal strictly with HOAs. I am the senior estimator, and I handle all the roofing estimates.
Okay.
So I had one of my admins order an Eagle View. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's an aerial view that a service provides, and they give you all the measurements and everything. We use them, I've used them for 10 years, and the numbers are spot on. And when I did the calculations this morning, like I would do for any other community, even if I was bidding one for here, I came up, analyzing everything, about 2/3 of the cost of what this contract number is. My numbers come in around $38,000 to $40,000 for the roof replacement for this.
Okay, well, just on the roof, you're correct.
Well,
But
and accessories.
but
the
we're
other-
replacing every vent, every,
Yeah, that was all included. That's a
chimneys as
yeah,
well.
with the stainless steel B vents. Yeah.
Right, right.
I was able to figure that out because I saw them doing one down the street
Mhm.
a couple of, maybe a month or two ago, and I saw what they were doing on it. So I put those numbers in. At a maximum number, it shouldn't be over like 46,000 maximum.
Does that include a 50-year warranty on the
Yes, 50 year with
material?
a gold- It's 50 years on the materials, a GAF Golden Pledge warranty. The first 25 years are what you would refer to as bumper to bumper, all in materials and labor on anything that happens on the roof. But the roof that are being installed here that I saw, this would include removing the siding, running the flashing up as the manufacturers want you to do, certain, like the pipe boots. The
Mhm.
pipe boots that are getting put on these buildings that I saw they're about like, I think, $9.55 each. They will not be covered under a warranty, a Golden Pledge warranty. You have to put on a lifetime boot.
Owens Corning is the manufacturer.
Okay,
We are getting that warranty from them.
yeah.
They're guaranteeing everything for 50 years, 20-year on the label.
20, yeah, 20, right. That Owens Corning and GAF run similar warranties. We deal with both manufacturers.
All right.
But my question is it, given the disparity in numbers, I know that most of my competitors would probably be in around the same number I am. Would it be maybe worthy to reevaluate these proposals? Because they are high.
Well, we'll do it every year. Of course, that's the way you do it. I mean, there'll be a round of roofs next year if the funding is there. But let me give you an example. This current contract came in $800,000 less than what we were told it would cost to do it.
And that
So-
was from the engineer.
Correct,
Yeah, FWH.
correct.
Yeah, we do a lot of business with them.
Yeah, so we came in $800,000 under their estimate.
But it's still regardless of their estimate, is what the proposal is what really matters.
I guarantee, I grant you that, you're right. But so this was the best deal that we got at the current moment and we went with it.
Okay, so,
Let me just add, they did reconstruct the chimney. That I think was kind of the
we mentioned
larger
that.
portion. I mean, there's the roof replacement, your shingles, the flashings, all that. There were the B vents, all stainless steel, flue B vents, you understand the terminology.
Yep.
But there was that reconstruction of the chimney. That is what took the most
are you
time.
talking about the metal casing that the B vent sits inside of?
Right. Yeah, well,
No,
that's
not the
completely
B-vent.
gone. They're creating a frame, they're creating a
The-
whole
The actual
chimney.
chimney, yes.
So the chimneys were
That's what was expensive.
substantial in what they cost to do that. And they're putting on this veneer brick on the outside, which looks just like real brick.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's putting all new piping in, all new capping, all new flashing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, it just like I said, I
he's
saw
doing a
what
lot.
they did on the other one. And so that's how I was able to evaluate what I should include in my calculations.
Mhm.
And like I said, it still come in considerably less.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, we'd love to talk to you next year when we're going to attempt to do this again.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Barbara Lindell, 15 Trent Road. Now, we are aware that there are a lot of clubs and people utilizing this building, and storage space doesn't seem to be at an optimum amount for the building. However, I was shown a storage space area unit in the downstairs basement by the washing machine and the bathroom over there. And we were told that we could utilize it from ORT, which is my organization. And we could put things, because now we're using this building, the poker room monthly for our monthly meetings. So we will be here, and this way people don't have to bring stuff and they can store it. However, that area is horrible. The floor is all stained and broken. The walls have holes in them. The shelving that's in there is rusted. There's no ceiling tiles at all, so there's exposed roofing or whatever in their ceiling. It's not a pleasant place, and I'm not too sure if we're leaving paper plates or paper goods, what's in there and what isn't in there, and if there's mold or not mold. So my question to, I guess, First Service or anybody else that's supposed to do this, is there any plan, since people are now utilizing it, we're not the only people in there leaving supplies and things, is there any plan to paint it, to redo it, to paint the shelves, to make it a clean place for us to walk into and leave our belongings?
I'm trying to think, which one, is this the one with all the wire shelving in the
Yes,
room?
That's what we got.
Okay,
There's nothing
it's a
else.
fairly large room.
It's not a bad, I mean, it's a fine room.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that big, but
And you're saying there's no ceiling in that room?
there's no ceiling tiles. There's no tiles,
Okay.
there's no ceiling tiles. There's a big, huge exposed pipe network on the side that has some sort of wooden floor that's sort of built in. You hear running water. I don't know where that's from or if it's in the pipes.
I'm sure there's some plumbing running through there
Yes,
somewhere.
so that's in the pipes, but I would say to you that the place hasn't been painted. There are lockers in there that supposedly the workers here used to use or are no longer using or are using. There's a padlock on some. But as a resident and being said, hey, you can use this space and here it is, you're telling me to walk into a space that's rusted, that's dirty, that's got holes in the walls, that got holes in the floors. And I'm just asking if there's any plan in the near future.
Well, what I would
to
recommend,
update
Barbara,
that.
is that Matt, who's sitting over there,
Mhm.
sit down with him and find a time and you and he go down into the room and you let him know and point everything out to him that you think
Okay.
would make it better and we'll see what we can do.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll speak.
I'll just say that I imagine it was a room that was never used, because
The staff cleaned this year.
there were lockers. Okay, how long ago?
Like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
But-
We'll look into it, I think. Make some time and go down with Matt, show him.
Gene Gold, 21A Rutland Lane. My question is about the paving contract.
Speak a little closer to the mic.
My question is about the paving contract. My wife and I are avid walkers. My wife is known as the Hat Lady. And we're on this path almost every day. I see no justification for this $7,000 expenditure. There is nothing wrong with that path. There were
Oh.
leaves, branches, debris from some of the windstorms. I'd like somebody to explain what $7,000 will be or has been expended on for those walking paths.
Go ahead, Matt. Please answer the gentleman's question.
Hey, Gene, how are you?
Okay, Matt, how are you today?
Good. If you'd like to come over, I have a whole bunch of pictures on my phone that we took of the areas that needed to get replaced.
If you're talking about the several patches that. were put
No,
on
no,
the
no, no,
road,
no.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, if you could, because I saved them on my phone. It was really deteriorated in some long stretches where like half of it was gone, basically.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Okay. Pictures on your phone, people.
Okay. Yes,
My,
sir.
my name is David Whitebook, 35 Whitehall Road. My question, it relates to the change of management of the pool. Do you know if some of the staff who've worked at the pool for many years are going to be all changed, or will some of them possibly still be?
I'm sure there'll be some changes, as there always are. Some of the people will probably be interviewed, and if they would like to stay on, and American Pool has the option to hire them, they can. And not just the current employees, but even some former employees, they have an option to be employed by American Pool as well. So it's a process because they need the staff. It's very hard to find help these days. So I'm sure they're very anxious to get whoever's interested in joining them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Maria DeLucia, 85A Winthrop. Two comments. One was on the storage room in the basement. I agree with Linda's interpretation. I went down there for the first time the other day and took a look in that room. It's disgusting. It really, we need a place for clubs, a nice, clean, organized place for clubs to store their belongings. And I'm sorry that I even recommended anybody go down there and put their stuff there because it's just not acceptable. And it needs to be made fresh and clean so that the clubs can use it. The other reason I'm up here is the nursing contract for the night shift. I'm going to voice my objection to what you're trying to do. Every person that buys into this community bought in with the understanding of 24-hour nursing care. And you may not need it, but you know that it's there. And I absolutely object to you getting rid of it. That's my comment. Thank you.
All right, anyone else coming up to speak? All right, I'll close the public portion. Anyone on the board have any, Matt, please? We have our Zoom.
Yeah, we have one on Zoom. I just want to clarify. Gene, you're still here, right? You're good with the pictures? Okay, good.
Comment.
Anything else,
You,
Matt?
you don't, I'm
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead. He was giving us
You don't notice it when you're walking, but when you actually look at the walkway on Whittingham, after I saw the pictures, I actually took a walk. And yes, someone can fall. And I think that that's the only concern. I realize $7,000. I'm not happy about it either, but it is a longer stretch. And so I think we need to just make sure everyone is safe.
So we have one question, comment on Zoom from Janine at 52A Rutland. The speeding in the community has gotten very bad. I walk my dog on Winningham every morning and most cars are getting above the limit. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here because what Susie typed is very long. Thanks, Susie. Very detailed. Drivers here feel they have the right of way. They don't stop when people are in crosswalks. One woman drove around me. Anyway, is there a reason stop signs cannot be added to some intersections on Whittingham to slow people down? It's something we could definitely look into, but I know we do have stop signs at every intersection already.
Okay. That's it, Matt?
That's it.
Okay. Before we close the meeting, I see there's a lot of the people that were this past weekend at the Performing Arts Council show. And this ballroom was filled with about 320 people on Sunday, and Saturday about 300. I just wanted to commend everyone who was involved with that. You did a fantastic job. I mean, it really was a job that's, I mean, I don't know how you pull it together every year, but you managed to do it. And it was well received by the residents of this community. So thank you for your efforts. I appreciate it. Okay, with that, I'll take a motion to close. Move second.
A second.
Second by Kathy. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Please, everyone drive under the limit. Please be careful. Please be cognizant.